Automation can improve a lot of things for a business. Robots are nothing if they're not consistent. One of the best things about robots is that if you program them right, they will do the same task again and again and again and do it the same way again and again and again. If you're doing a bad job, then it'll do wrong over and over and over again, and you'll make a lot of bad parts. But once you get it tuned in, you'll make consistently good parts over and over again. Robots are also extraordinarily patient. They can sit there and do a very mind-numbing task over a very long period of time, very slowly, if that's what's necessary. Other things that robots are good at are general superhuman capabilities. They can lift heavier things than people can. They can withstand heat better than people can. They're generally good at working in harsh environments where you don't really want people working there for health and safety and liability reasons. It's good to automate those tasks to get people away from those dangerous tasks. Robots are faster than humans, so that's why we use them for pick and place operations. So anything where you need to do something repeatedly, very, very quickly, that's a good thing to automate. Robots are not good at squishy tasks. They're not good at organic sort of things where the task that you're trying to do changes in dynamic and unpredictable ways. People are really good at being trained at kind of doing that feedback thing where you're polishing something and you feel the wheel tugging a little bit too much and you know you're pushing too hard. You can kind of train a robot to do that now that we have force feedback robots, but there's some things that they're just not good at. We're getting better at dynamically reacting to situations, but robots are still only as good as their programming, and there's only so many things that you can foresee. Small variations you can usually compensate for through various methods, but large variations are not easy for robots to accomplish. We can do things with 3D scanners and 3D cameras and start picking out paths and things like that. Usually there's still a human involved in the process somewhere to say, actually, yes, that's a weld seam. No, that's not a weld seam. You're not supposed to be welding there. Robots can bring a lot of different things to a business. They can bring precision and repeatability to your products. They're good for safety because we can keep people away from dangerous tasks. They're good for repeatability. They're good for speed. Robots can usually perform things more quickly than humans can. They're also, if you do it right, they're good for just plain productivity. Lots of fab shops now, lots of shops are going to lights out automation where you start a task and you set up a robot with a bunch of parts and then you come back the next morning and the robot's done. And all you're paying for is electricity. To be precise, humans almost always have to go slow to be precise at things. A robot can do precision very quickly. It can get into place quickly and get into a precise location quickly. That's why we use robots for things like electronic pick and place. You're moving parts around that are the size of like the head of a pin. You need to get them located like that, but you also want to do it very quickly so it doesn't take a week to build an electronic board. We can put robots in lots more dangerous environments than we can humans. We can put them in environments where fumes and other toxic gases are going to be. Robots don't care quite so much about radiation, so we can use them for doing tasks near radiation. They're a lot hardier than humans are. So we can take humans out of these dangerous locations and put them in better places for them where they can do things that humans are better at, like being creative and coming up with new solutions and new products.